Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street. This is Friday Night Frosthaven. Here we are, a little bit short of a full complement, and will remain that way, but not as much.
No, not for. Rich is here.
Oh, he's here? Well, holy
Yeah.
smokes. Rich is here. Hold on, gang. We'll continue the introduction in a moment when Rich has joined us. Alright. Where is the thing? Here it is. Rich is player one.
Rich, you're very low. Your volume's low.
Alright. We've added Rich, whose volume is indeed.
My volume isn't going to help that, Richard. Is this better?
A little bit.
A little tiny bit.
Interesting.
If you right click on are you using a Windows laptop?
No.
Oh, you know what? It's much better now. I don't know what you
Okay.
did.
Okay,
I
great.
brought the microphone closer to my face and I turned it around so the microphone part was close to my face.
That'll do it. I did not. I certainly did not have the competence to walk you through figuring out how to change the settings on a Mac.
No, I bet you did.
I mean,
I bet if that didn't happen, if we needed that to happen and it didn't happen, it would not have been your fault.
well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. I love being told things aren't my fault on this stream. So
Yeah.
here we are. I promised and cannot deliver the full all hands on deck experience. We thought we had it, and then Lauren texted us earlier this evening to say that she realized she doesn't like us, doesn't want to be our friend anymore, and no. Smokey, hello, welcome. But yeah, Lauren wasn't up for it. She had just one of those. I had one of those days, but the show must go on. So here I am. How you doing, Rich? Player one, playing the Quattro Blinkblade, possibly for the last time. How are you?
Rich, you've muted yourself again somehow.
Oh, Rich was making sounds? I thought
He was making sounds.
Thought he was really building up to saying something. No.
Nope.
No.
Are these new headphones, Rich?
They're not.
Ah, Jesus Christ, Rich.
Okay. There's the control.
Were they on? Also, maybe not.
All right. Well, now
that would be the trick.
Now it's all going. All right. Player one, playing the Quattro Blinkblade, maybe for the last time. How you doing, Rich?
Because
Maybe
we're not
for the
letting him
last
back after that.
Yeah.
So real quick for the chat, when I wasn't here for the second time, were you happy or sad that that Friday Night Frosthaven had just become Greg and James only? Because it sounds like I watched it. It was a pretty tight stream, very efficient gameplay. It was probably the best episode of this show.
No, I don't know about that last one. It was certainly efficient gameplay. I don't doubt that. But that is, I think any combination of the two of us would produce tighter gameplay than any combination of the three of us, and certainly four of us.
I hope that's true, but I don't think it is.
There, hey, Smokey confirms. The people missed Rich.
We miss Rich.
Yeah.
Great news.
Okay.
But I'm doing so good.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
Engaged.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, look at this guy. Imagine the privileged life it takes to think that summer starts in the middle of March, when, as I know very well, it starts in mid to late April.
Super aware of my privilege, not apologizing for it.
Like this 5 month summer thing. Anything more I say than 4 months of summer is privilege.
That's fair.
If your summer only runs from May through August, that's down to earth. So here we are. Lauren can't be with us, as I mentioned, but here's the nice thing. Real good chance we retire the Blinkblade in this scenario, which means that when Lauren rejoins us, she won't be the only level 1 character.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Meanwhile, down here, player 3, stalwart and steadfast, always here, playing the Inox Drifter. It's Greg. How you doing, Greg?
Hello. I'm doing good, James.
Actually, Greg had a wedding to go to that one time.
That's true. I did go to a wedding once.
Yeah.
But that wasn't during Frosthaven.
Oh no, we didn't play. We would never play without Greg.
Oh, right, yes. Now I remember. We did take a week off because of that. Yeah.
I'm doing good, James. I'm
Excellent.
looking forward to playing. I'm happy to have Rich back.
Good. Me too. So yeah, me down here in the corner, player 4, and your host, and the game. I don't know if game master is the right term, but certainly the person who tries to.
Well,
make
certainly
the
not
rule...
game PhD, James.
Yeah, certainly trying to make the rules work to the extent that I can, and playing the Aether Bone Shaper. It's me, your host at Dream Street, 58 Dream Street, James. How am I doing? I'm really tired. This is the week of the year of the winter term when my first years have their big assignment due, so that's a lot of additional offering help and advice. Holy smokes! Happy birthday, Smokey!
Oh, happy birthday!
Very exciting. My birthday is 6 days from now. So we're both we're fellow March babies. Yeah, so I had a long week, but like a good week. It's really busy, but helping
Let's all remember
people...
that next time we play will be the day after James's birthday. So
Yes.
that's still close enough to his birthday to count as remembering.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, you know what?
It is. So it's the fulfilling kind of work. Helping the students make their work better. That's way more fulfilling than when you have a busy work, like week of paperwork or whatever. But I also, in the past, screwed myself over twice because first I agreed to a dentist appointment today. This was 6 months ago. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, like I scheduled it. I agreed.
Fine.
I'm saying the things in the wrong order. I meant to say I scheduled a dentist appointment for today and then agreed to participate in a Pie Your Prof event this morning. Mm-hmm. So, hey, that is true. I hadn't thought about that. But...
yeah.
Oh, man. Please be responsible, Smokey. We want you here with us next week.
Thank you, everyone, joining us on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Woo! We're getting wild. Anyway, but the good news was that, first of all, none of the students were very good at throwing pies. And then... And I carefully made note of... I was like, all right. Muhammad. I'll keep this in mind later when I'm reviewing that paper grade you asked me to look at. Then I went to the dentist and was praised by both the dental hygienist and the dentist for my very clean teeth and healthy gums, and for my rockin' Freddie Mercury style mustache. So it felt good to be acknowledged. And
yep.
James does love praise.
It's true. It is true. Lord help me, that is a distinctive characteristic of mine. Sets me apart from the pack.
One of the reasons I like to get my hair cut is because the hairdressers always compliment me on my thick, naturally curly hair.
Yeah, you have... Greg, you got terrific hair, man.
Thank
you. True. I did once. I was much, much younger, though. So here we are. I think we should, without any further ado, we got to get to the Outpost Phase. So let's get moving.
Which is favorite bit?
It's the Outpost. Here we are. First,
I'll just... some shit, can't I?
Here's the northern coast. And let me just tour you around what's been going on. Obviously, we have spent the recent portion of the stream. We made our way through the Crystal Trench and discovered the Ancient Spire. We fought our way up to the top of that, and we slew the Lord of Chaos. Well, Greg and I did, at least. So, let me just get... I'm going to go off camera for a second. And we're going to officially declare victory. The upper spire.
Greg.
On top of the spire.
Will you be my designated potion buyer and decide what potions I should make?
You only got one you can make.
Well, I want to make it. Can I make it here?
It's as simple as can be. This is the
time is coming.
The time is nigh.
So I declare potion.
I'll tell you when the time is here, Rich. So,
okay.
The Outpost Phase begins with the passage of time, which you just saw happen as I added one more red X. Time only passes in Frosthaven when you are in the Outpost. And so by prolonging our trip to the Ancient Spire, we have slowed down time. And as a result, we're only 4 weeks into this game, even though we have completed 7 scenarios. I don't know about ending with an Outpost, Smokey. We'll have to see how... Maybe Who knows? Maybe we just go flying through this thing.
Oh man,
We'll see.
you don't know the character. You don't know my character very well.
And so, let me just pop this out and let you know. Oh, I will record it also manually on the campaign sheet. You can see the exclamation points that tell us on screen when events are going to happen, but let me just clarify a little bit more. Next time a week passes, we will be reading section 32.3, which was always going to happen. Like, that's printed on the campaign sheet. But the week after that, we are reading 179.5 and 156.1, neither of which is actually printed on the campaign sheet. That's just what's going to happen as a result of our actions. I'll also show you that when we completed the Ancient Spire by defeating the Lord of Chaos at the top of the spire, we earned the first Coral Shard. So that's this sticker here in our campaign stickers. Eventually, if we get 5 of those, it makes the Lurker crown, which I assume will in some way advance our relationship with the Lurkers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Which, by the way, we're actually initiating tonight by fighting some of them. But here we are.
Can't wait to kill 2.
What's next? What's next?
I'm going to get in there and steal both of your kills.
That would be a funny prank.
All right. Here we are. Summer Outpost Event 7. Your latest victory. Burner Cat! Hello!
Hey!
Your latest victory.
Burner Count is going to be so proud of me for making a potion.
Your latest victory is the talk of the crater. You celebrate your heroics with 1 toast too many. Oh, how about that? Before stumbling back to your bed and falling asleep in a giddy haze. You wake to the sound of battle. The too familiar roar of Algux, morphing from dream to groggy reality. Flames from outside. We don't know yet. We're only at part 2 of the Outpost Phase, which is read the Outpost event. But we're going to find out soon.
We're not even close to part 3 or 4. My favorite
Flames
parts.
from outside cast an eerie mural on the wall of your longhouse. What happened to the alarm? As your wine-soaked faculties slowly return, you notice the families that share your longhouse are in various states of panic. You've been through raids before, not true, but it was always with a weapon in hand, facing your foe. Inside the longhouse, unarmed and unarmored, you see in these people a kind of helpless terror you hadn't experienced before now. A crash outside snaps you from your reverie. Across the road, a group of Algux smash a stack of barrels and throw a torch into the pile before turning towards your longhouse. The other residents see them too. Option A, hide with the residents and keep them calm. Option B, make a stand in the doorway.
Well, I'm an outcast, resourceful, and strong.
Oh, yeah, I have things.
Yeah, what are you, Rich?
Educated.
Okay, sure.
Nimble and resourceful.
I am arcane, educated, and intimidating.
I don't think we have what it takes to keep these people calm.
No,
I think we should
but I
fight.
think we very well might be bringing what it takes to the table to scare off or take on the enemies. So let's make a stand in the doorway.
Do you think we can educate them?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
We
Like,
can definitely
if you're educated, you like just like explain to the Algux how cooperation is better and with examples from history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, option B.
That's what I choose to do.
Making a
It
stand.
was Plato, I believe.
Okay. I'm a little confused. Okay, I see how this works. This is an attack event, but it also the outpost event resolves, and then we got to do the fight for the first time.
Wait, we just fight somebody now?
There's going to be an outpost fight.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to try my hardest to make Martin proud here and get at least some of the rules of the attack phase right. But first, these attackers picked the wrong longhouse. You arm yourselves and rush outside where the Algux are striking up more torches. The fight is brutal but quick, and you tell the residents to stay inside while you run off to join the rest of the guards. All characters start the next scenario with wound.
Oof, okay.
That's not great.
I don't want that.
Well, you got it. Okay.
Well,
here we are. We are being attacked. I am popping open the rules. Don't worry, I'm not going to read
Yeah,
them all.
I got them here.
Oh, you got them too? Great. All right.
Yeah.
Attack events.
What?
Boom, boom, boom. Ding. Attacks depicted on the back of the event card. Outcomes. Below any outcomes from the choice. Yep. The outcomes sometimes modify the attack, but this one didn't. The back of the card contains the following. Ah, yes, that's true. For Rich's sake, we need to protect the alchemist. Alright. The attack value indicates the value that must be met or exceeded on a defense check to defend a targeted building. Target value, how many buildings are targeted, the priority, and then when the attack occurs, we must perform a defense check for each building targeted by the attack. For each defense check, draw a card from the town card deck and add its bonus to Frosthaven's total defense value. Our total defense value is 5, which is not optimal.
No.
For any defense check, as long as the barracks is not wrecked, we can lose any number of soldiers before drawing to give the check advantage and reduce the attack value based on the level of barracks and the number of soldiers lost. The defense check gets disadvantage if our barracks has been wrecked, but it hasn't been. If the result meets, or I suppose they would after the barracks is ruined, if it gets ruined in the middle. If the result meets or exceeds the attack value, it succeeds, it's defended. Well, we'll deal with that when it happens. Okay, now the priority. Which non-wrecked buildings are targeted in what order based on preference? If there's no target priority, the party decides. Each building can only be targeted once. Okay. Well,
Okay, how many buildings are getting
I
attacked?
think we're ready. 4 buildings are under attack. I gotta get the town guard deck now that I think about it. 1 second here.
So is this just like a mini scenario?
So basically, the town guard have their own deck like ours, with they're gonna pull modifiers from. Ooh, I should have saved that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and then based on that,
to be back in the other timeline where Greg was getting a critical on his first pull before he had to shuffle. To be honest. Oh well. What are you gonna do? All right. So why am I shuffling this thing, which has been shuffled thoroughly?
That's a really funny thing that happened, Greg.
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
it was. But it's a good demonstration because the town guard can pull a times 2 too.
Here we
They
go.
also have everything is instead of +1s and +0s. Well, there's still a +0. It's +10, +20, -10.
But are we like
20.
All
we're
right.
playing cards to fight these guys?
We are drawing.
We basically
from
do
the-
nothing except draw a single card and find out what happened. It's
Okay.
much simpler. All right.
Yeah.
Tell
it's a
me when it's time for me to do
So
something.
here's one thing we got to find out that I think I might need you to Google for me, Greg, or maybe Burner Account knows. I bet Burner Account knows. The target priority is target odd numbered buildings from 1 to 40.
Yeah.
There are only 2 of those. Does that mean that the other 2 follow the no priority rule where we decide what building they attack? Or does it mean the other 2 do not attack because they don't have a building that matches their priority rule?
Each building can only be targeted once, even if the number of buildings within the target priority is lower than the target value.
I don't think that answers the question, though. I guess what I'm wondering is we have 3 even numbered buildings and there's 2 potential targets left. Do those get targeted even though we're doing a target odd number priority? All right. Yeah, Burner Account thinks that it goes no priority, so we just get to pick. So how about we have the craftsman in the workshop take the attack so that the barracks definitely doesn't get wrecked?
Yeah, that makes sense. So which buildings are getting attacked in which order?
Okay, in this order, they're going to attack the logging camp, the alchemist,
Oh no.
the craftsman, and then the workshop. So what is the rule here?
That's my favorite camp.
Yeah, I like all those camps.
So we have 4 soldiers, and I believe, but let me just double check, that sacrificing a soldier is something that we have to do every time.
We don't have to do it if we don't want to.
But I mean, like, we can't do it once and that sacrifice lasts the whole battle.
So like it's always sacrifice soldiers. There's never like you have to sacrifice just like an innocent person.
No, it's always
no.
soldiers.
It's just the guys from the barracks, and we can pay money to get them
Fuck
back.
those guys.
Okay, so here we go. It's an attack 10, and
Okay.
Whoa.
I believe the way that the priority deck, the town guard attack deck works is it's set up very much like a regular modifier deck, except everything's times 10. So there are going to be a bunch of +10s, and 1 +20, and 1 like awesome, and 1 catastrophic, and 1 -20, and a bunch of -10s. We have a total defense of 5, which means that zeros will not save the day. And if we sacrifice soldiers, every time we sacrifice a soldier, we get advantage on the check, and we reduce the attack by 5, meaning that only a negative could cause us to lose. So, that's the setup. So the first target is the logging camp. Do we want to sacrifice a soldier, of which we have 4, to protect the logging camp?
Yes. Rich? I think we do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Rich.
Yeah,
Rich
man.
Follows,
Okay.
Rich follows Greg's lead on these parts of the game for sure.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm outvoted.
And also all of
sure I would've
the other
voted
parts of
differently.
the game.
We have sacrificed a soldier. So this is an attack 5 against the logging camp, against which we have advantage. I'm drawing 2 Town Guard modifier decks. Well, it's good, because the first one was a +0. But then there's also a +20. So we extremely defended the logging camp.
Nice.
Okay, great.
Great. Okay.
So, did a soldier die?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
By
Just
our
one?
command. That's on our conscience. And now the alchemist is up. We have 3
Okay.
soldiers.
Definitely
Time for-
sacrifice one.
All right. Bad news, Jim.
Let's just sacrifice all 3.
We have 4.
We got 4.
We could
We
literally.
sacrifice one on every attack.
We can. We could.
I don't know if I'd advise for it though.
The,
I don't
the
care. I
Zap
don't know if I
Brannigan
care,
approach. We will send wave after wave of our own men. All right. With advantage, an attack 5
I made a
against the
Zap
alchemist.
Brannigan joke today too.
Huh? Well, hey. With advantage, a -10 and a +10. We've
There we
defended
go.
the
That's
alchemist.
where we need it. Okay.
Excellent. You know what? I got Danielle to start watching Futurama, but we started just somewhere random as opposed. In fact, now that I think about it, we started the episode right after Xmas Story because I watch Xmas Story every Christmas, and so
Nice.
we haven't seen Zap Brannigan yet in the couple of episodes we watched. All right, the craftsman comes under attack. It's an attack 10. Do we sacrifice a soldier?
Now,
No.
Oh no, he said now. We might still do this,
Now.
James.
Okay.
I just now.
Do it now.
I'm just looking at like the negative effects, the building wrecked, which is the next thing we're gonna do. So every building, for those watching and for Rich who surely doesn't know this, every building has an operation that we can do, which is next. So we'll go through the buildings and we can either do something with them, like train a soldier or whatever, or if they're wrecked, there's sometime a negative thing.
Well, hold on. Why are we training these soldiers if we're just going to be sacrificing them?
Well,
Like,
because
can't we just put a
sacrifice them.
soldier uniform on like anybody?
I think that's what we're paying 3 gold and 1 material for the uniform. I think, and then just
That's
throwing
fair.
those
Okay.
guys at the
Here's
wall.
the thing.
Good
Here's the
answer.
thing to keep in mind, and perhaps we should have clarified this before we sent 2 men to their deaths. But
Yeah,
these buildings won't actually be wrecked if we fail the check. They'll
Wait,
be
what?
damaged, which costs us the repair cost immediately to fix the building. Attack
Well,
of-
do we have an in-house person to fix buildings, or are we?
Yeah, we don't have
Like-
to do the work. We just have to provide the supplies.
So what's the negative to not repairing a building? We have to.
We have
have
to.
no
So
choice.
there is no negative. There is no negative to it. You had to.
So we're going to be sacrificing on all of these. What we're really sacrificing is the risk of losing 2 materials.
Yeah. So are we sacrificing for the craftsman?
No,
No. All right.
I really wanted to save the alchemist. I really wanted to save the logging camp. But
Okay.
fuck this craftsman.
All right, the craftsman is under attack. It's an attack 10. We don't have advantage. -10. The craftsman
Yeah,
is
so
damaged.
Okay.
So
Do we pay that?
the repair cost is...
Yes, Burner Camp says there is a wrecked card in there. That is the critical effect.
Yes,
that is the-
yes,
that
the
is the-
critical will always wreck it. And from what I gather from the text, there are some special raid events that are like all out and buildings get wrecked.
All right.
So, the craftsman is damaged. The repair cost is any 2 resources.
I got a bunch of those.
Yeah. Do you just want to do 1 wood and 1 hide from the?
From
From the-
Frosthaven supply?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just can you take some Blinkblade shit? Like
Nah.
I'm trying to retire.
You can put it all in the supply before you leave.
Yeah. Okay. The workshop comes under attack. This is the final attack. It's an attack 10 unless we send him into his death. I feel like
Dude.
Yeah.
The thing is, I want to have some in reserve. I think
Yes.
losing half of them is
bad enough. I agree. Let's cut our losses and just hope that this is a good pull. Attack 10, 1 card. It's the wreck card.
So you know what we should have done is we should have sacrificed a man.
We should always sacrifice.
So, until such time as we rebuild the workshop, during every operations phase, we will just lose lose lumber. Okay, let me quickly review.
How often do we have operations phases?
Next. We have them next.
Okay. Building's wrecked, and then it comes back by being rebuilt. Okay, yeah. There's a rebuild cost. Great.
Yep.
Well, I mean, this could have gone better.
It could have gone better.
But it could have gone worse.
Okay, let's start at the top.
Often true. Okay.
I got a question for you, Rich. How much gold do you have?
Oh, man.
That 2-burner account, we could have sacrificed nobody and we never would have got to the wreck card. But it's all right. It's all right.
I have 16 gold.
16 gold. James?
How much gold do I have? 29.
Yeah. 29. Okay, so going to building operations now, unless there's more to read on the card.
There is.
Can 16 gold just build a new one right now?
No, but it will help.
Oh, hey, Higginder, welcome. I didn't, because for whatever reason it's picking dark blue text for your name. I didn't notice. I didn't even notice your name wasn't burner account when you first said should have sacrificed. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. So, check this
I think
out.
they're upstairs.
You stand by Mayor Satha as she regards the slain watchman. The arrow still buried in his chest. He died before he could reach the alarm. Looks like we'll need to double the watch, is all she says. Gain 2 collective lumber and 2 collective hide.
Ooh. Do you want to put those in the outpost, or do you want to hold them in your hands?
Put them in the outpost.
All right.
Okay, so right off the bat, we paid the repair cost, right, for the craftsman?
Yes, we did already.
Okay, very good. Then we are on to the building operations phase. We lose 1 collective lumber. Pardon me.
Well, we lose it when we get... Let's go in order, because we lose it when we get there.
Oh, we're going to go through the buildings in numerical order?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so the logging camp. We can collectively buy up to 1 lumber in exchange for 2 gold.
Yeah, James, do you want to spend 2 gold on that?
Yeah, I don't see a case against doing this. I will buy some lumber. 2 lumber, in fact. So I'm down to 27 gold. Sorry, what's that, Greg?
You get 1 lumber for 2 gold, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Craftsman, no effect. Alchemist, no effect. Workshop, lose 1 collective lumber.
There we go.
There we go. It all evens out. We can collectively, with the barracks now, collectively train up to 1 soldier for 3 gold and 1 material resource.
Do you want to just take a gold from everybody? And let's see.
Take all
the resource. The resource we have the most of right now is wood. So
and also we have the logging camp. So I think that 1 lumber and 1 gold from each team member.
Alrighty.
Will train us up 1 new soldier. We won't tell him what happened to the last guy.
What will surely happen to him?
Listen, we're not telling him that either. We're telling him this is a chance to make his parents proud. Serve his outpost.
We'll pay for college.
Whoa.
They're not doing
I don't know what you think the budget of Frosthaven is, Greg. If we find a book, he can have it.
Okay. So, I think that's everything. So
that is operations. So now we're on to the downtime phase, where I believe the main thing we want is for the Blinkblade to craft us a potion.
Yeah.
The alchemist.
I declare potion.
So I don't I leveled up. I did that already, but it's occurred. I'm level 3 now.
Excellent.
And then
way to
also,
go.
thank you.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to interact with any of the buildings personally. I don't want to craft, but yeah, Rich, it's time for your potion.
Yeah, I declare potion.
I
All
declare
right. What does Rich have as far as herbs go?
I declare the potion that I can make with the things that I have.
I was
Rich has
asking
two.
Greg.
Rich has 2 axe nuts.
Yeah, he does.
All right, so
Hell yeah!
all right, so we're gonna mix a potion in Bofa.
Yep.
All right.
Both.
Yeah, Bofa D's axe nuts.
Both of these axe nuts. Yeah.
All right, so for anyone who doesn't know, here's how crafting potions works. It's fun. It's a punch board like an advent calendar. Where you find
It's fun!
and then you bust it open and you find what it is. So axe nut, they meet in the middle. Oh, come on now. Pop! There it goes. And the Blinkblade has crafted an unhealthy mixture.
What? Why?
I don't know, because the one thing, I mean, we can assume that like axe nuts are high in like some kind of bad acid or something, but it's not a mixture. When
Is it pistachios that will just combust if there's too many of them?
Mashed up axe nut. That is not a mixture. That is purely that is just a mashed nut beverage. All right. So it's number 98. Excuse me a moment.
I guess maybe I've had dangerous volumes of pistachios in one sitting. How many pistachios makes a floating stachio?
I want to look. Yes, pistachio nuts are highly flammable when stored in large quantities and are prone to self-heating and spontaneous combustion. Basically, what they discovered when they were shipping large amounts of pistachios, like a huge crate full.
I don't think I've ever had a crate full of pistachios, but I think I've been close.
So, like, if you have enough pistachios in one place, them together, the oil and the slight friction of them just rubbing on each other will cause them to self-heat. And then the oil on pistachio is highly flammable, so they will just combust. And they discovered this by trying to ship large amounts of pistachios.
Oh, there should be more rap lyrics about pistachios.
You'd think at least the Jizza would have something about it.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way he hasn't
swearing and started only doing science raps.
There's no way he hasn't read an article about it, and his science raps are great. So, like, come on.
His science raps are great.
Okay, check this out. This is pretty funny. The unhealthy mixture is a small item, which is consumed like all potions. During your turn, perform wound and poison self.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is as advertised. It's just not a healthy drink to have.
So here's the thing.
There's no good side? There's no, like, it's delicious?
You can sell it.
If your battle goal was have 3 negative conditions, then you just get, like, one person immobilizes you and you're like, sweet, I'm chugging my unhealthy mixture.
You can sell it. We can sell it.
Oh, I didn't even... Jeez. The whole time we were doing the attack, I should have had Frosthaven on screen.
What's the going rate for unhealthy mixtures?
Well, if we can sell things, and actually, now that I'm saying it, I'm not entirely sure we can sell things yet. It's listed in here. We have to wait until we have a shop, eh?
Yeah. There's no sell value, like you can't get gold for it. But there is
No, you can. In the rulebook, there's rules for selling stuff. If something is craftable, you get 2 gold for each resource or item required to craft it.
Interesting.
I don't know if we have access to the sell rules yet.
We definitely don't have that. And one other odd thing is that the unhealthy mixture card does not have, like, the part where it would normally have the crafting resources required to make it is blank. I think this is actually a genuinely useless item.
Oh,
That's
and
cool.
burner account about distilling. We can't distill yet because our alchemist is only level 1. Level 2 alchemist lets you distill.
Okay. Well, geez. All right.
Pretty sure it's illegal.
That's downtime. And now it's construction. Construction phase. So, I guess we should rebuild the workshop.
Yeah, we should just rebuild the workshop.
Well, 2 lumber, 1 metal, 1 hide.
Okay, so let's go through the supplies here.
Do I have any of those things?
2 metal. What is it, James? Sorry,
Maybe on the last round of this scenario, if the Blinkblade's retiring, he can be like, "Fuck it," just throw back the unhealthy mixture. Sorry, what did you say, Greg?
What's the requirements again? Sorry.
2 lumber, 1 metal, 1 hide.
So the only people with metal is the Outpost has 1 and Rich has 2.
Hey, take both of mine.
We only need 1.
We only need 1. So we'll leave you with the 1, Rich. And
right.
then the Outpost has 3 lumber. So do you want to take that?
Yeah, just use that.
Am I out of lumber?
No, you have 2 lumber.
Oh, take my lumber.
All right, take his lumber. Yeah, I mean, in practice, if their character retires,
it's true. You know
it's
what?
fine.
It's entirely fair.
The Blinkblade is going to his like senile generosity stage.
Just take it. I can't take it with me.
The Blinkblade, the Blinkblade lived fast. Now he's dying young. His metabolism is such that he's aged actually 60 years in the course of.
And for Hyde, the Outpost has 4, but Rich does have 1.
Just take it. It's fewer values for you to toggle.
It's really important to me that you take my stuff.
All right, and that's it. The workshop is rebuilt.
Awesome. Note to myself that one of the things I really got to do to take this overlay to the next level, we've got all this blank space, and there's no reason that shouldn't show the Frosthaven supply, and maybe like a few city guards. But anyway.
Yeah. Ooh, a little ticker, because that is one thing that we don't have in our little, our own little console that you've built for us here.
Is what?
We don't have any way to know how many guards we have on hand.
Yes,
yeah,
I've done
James, I wish you had thought of more things when you set up this
you know what,
like
you really
listen.
Like it really seems like you just threw this together last
I'm an imperfect person. and I try my best, and that's all I can do. All right.
I just think in this case, it seems like you're maybe trying your mediumist.
All right. The Outpost phase is about to conclude. Do we even have enough to build a wall here?
We need to do 2 actions. We're going to take a blow to our morale.
Oh, right. Never mind. That's right. We literally just survived an attack. We should not be working the townspeople to the bone. Even just without even the gameplay aspect, that's just not ethical.
I mean, hold on. Do they want to keep working?
No, it will hurt the morale.
James, I mean, there's a right to work, though, that we should really...
Not in the state of Michigan, baby. Oh, burner account chimes in to say we actually can build and rebuild. That doesn't.
Oh, you can do.
Rebuilding is not building. So,
okay. In that case, we should build a wall.
All right. So, did I put the build values for the walls in there, Greg, or at least for the lowest level wall?
You did. It's 4 lumber and 10 gold.
Can we afford that?
We have, if we take all the lumber from the supply, and 1 lumber from you.
All right. I'll give it up.
Okay. And then.
10
gold. We need to do 10. We need to do 10 gold. So.
Hey, I got 16 of that.
Well, you have 15 of that.
Oh, take some gold.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to do
10? I'll do 10.
Let me double check. Just to feel.
You know what? I mean, if you want to do 10,
I'm doing 10.
There's nothing we really spend gold on, and you're retiring, so you won't be able to.
My whole thing is just like. I just walk around and kill guys.
And we can put gold in the supply. We haven't. There's no gold in the supply, but we can put gold in the supply. So you want to go down to 5 gold?
Yeah.
Okay. Build that wall, James. Hold on, Rich, join me. Build the wall. Build that wall.
Hold on. I'm just trying to verify this.
It's hard to do a chant together on the internet.
It is,
Ah,
yeah.
Yes. Okay, so
Get that
here's the
timing
language.
right.
Here's the exact language. After the downtime step, the party may build, upgrade, and rebuild buildings. They may build or upgrade one building by default, and they may lose 2 morale to build or upgrade a second building. So rebuilding is not building, and it's very clear. We can rebuild and build. So here comes
Right.
that wall. All right, I gotta find the stickers.
Here comes the wall.
I can't believe we're doing it.
Wait,
No,
hold
we're
on,
doing it.
hold on. As long as we're doing this, that's the wall, brother. Hey, wall. One of Hulk Hogan's greatest moments. Okay. Here it is, the wall. Wall J.
Every moment of Hulk Hogan's was great. Every single moment he's ever had.
Yeah.
On or off camera.
Whether he knew he was being recorded or
He's
not,
had some significant
they've all
ones.
been great moments.
Okay, this stickers. Okay.
I
Okay,
remember
no, that's not
Robert
coming
telling me that there is a 0% chance, there is no way Hulk Hogan ever ends up on the WWE ever again.
Burner account has left us in the dust so much that we were playing the game before he had his, and now he's saying that he forgot how empty Frosthaven looks at the start.
Well, we're about to add a wall.
Well,
so
burner
that's
account,
really gonna.
you
like
and your
this.
friends have much more energy than me and my friends.
All right. Greg, could you please add 5 to the defenses? Not the total defense, because that's a formula cell that's aggregating.
Oh, that just going to the council here.
Yep.
So outpost defense add 5.
Yes.
So our total is now 10.
Boom. Burner account's doing a solo campaign. That's the advantage.
Yeah. I will say,
Okay.
playing this like a video game, I can see myself really steaming through it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's got a good loop for, like, you know, the core RPG loop of trickling out improvements. So you want to try out your improvements is really there.
If I tried to play this game by myself, it would have been 1,000 hours before I figured out how to play it.
Here's the thing, though. If you played it by yourself and there was no one to tell you were doing it wrong,
I would literally just be like,
this game's so easy.
I win every time.
I'd be like playing with the minis, just like making them fight and shit. It's such a good game.
All right.
Good game.
So we're about to head into the scenario. I am going to return this to the gang screen for a moment so I can switch some things around.
Okay. We still got to do a road event.
Oh, I know.
You know what I hope? I hope the negative consequence of the road event is that we start the scenario wounded. That way we just double wound it. It's a net negative. It's
That'd be
net neutral.
Yeah. So we had a few options. We could keep on exploring other avenues in the ancient technology questline track, like the strange elevator. We could go to the basement of the spire, but as far as I can tell, that's just an alternate route to get to the top of the spire. And then we also had the Frozen Crypt, which we're not doing tonight, and the Edge of the World, the start of the Lurker questline, which we're going to do. And as you can see right now, the only part of Rich's retirement or personal quest that he hasn't completed is to kill 2 Lurker Claw Crushers. So that's pretty exciting. On the way, Summer Road Event 20 occurs. Just outside the range where Frosthaven could reasonably extend its influence, you find a clearing with a single inhabitant and an imposing machine. An Inox, wearing ill-fitting formal clothing, uncomfortably watches you approach, then introduces you to the device beside him. Welcome to Slot Machine. He looks frazzled, as though he misspoke. I mean, this is the slot machine. I'm running it. Wait, sorry. He fumbles through his pockets, finally producing a note card. Reading off it, he continues. Welcome to the Slot Sanctum, a traveling slot machine that can make your wildest dreams come true with the spin of the, goes to the next card, dial. Gesture to the slot machine. He looks at you blankly. Win fabulous prizes. Gesture to prizes. A pile of fine. It's an obvious joke, but I liked it. A pile of fine hides, metal, and other resources sits on a small table beside him. Option A, play the slot machine legitimately. Option B, insist that the Inox operator lets you peek inside the machine.
Oh, peek inside.
Okay.
I mean, we got some educated guys. We've got
And
some
I'm
resourceful
intimidating.
guys.
So,
You know what? Peek inside the machine.
all right.
I bet. You know what? Dollars to donuts. There's a fucking vermling in there or
Oh
something.
my god, it would be sweet if I had a bunch of donuts right now, though.
You know what, Rich? It would.
I'd trade it all for more dollars.
Have you tried some of the fancy donuts in town? The voodoo donuts?
Yeah, they're definitely good, but on the James happiness scale, like a cheap donut's better, because you know it's cheap.
I can't argue with that.
And it's like 99% as good.
Oh my goodness. All right. This is quite a road event. All right. First, if we have one of the following two qualities, Inox or persuasive, and we have Inox.
We sure
Persuasive
do.
Drifter.
Yeah, we do.
The Inox shrugs. Yeah, okay. The inside is a mishmash of chains and pulleys, but you think you can time it right. We're going to do outcome A, and then it says add 2 additional loot cards of your choice to the machine. And wouldn't you believe, there's a whole long paragraph of text explaining how to make the slot machine. So hold on a second here. The operator.
Oh my god, it's a loot deck.
The operator shows you how to use the machine, and soon you're sitting on a stool, ready to pull the lever. He hands you a drink, poured from a canteen behind the table. Make a 10-card slot machine deck composed of 2 loot cards of each material resource, and 4 more loot cards of your choice.
I wish Lauren was here. We could have loaded this full of
herbs for her, but it wouldn't
herbs
count.
for her.
Those are not loot actions. It wouldn't matter.
Oh, it needs to be part of a loot action?
It does. Okay, so I'm getting the not scenario loot deck because I have obviously set up the... Nighty night, Smokey. Hopefully we don't... yeah. As long as I'm building the slot machine, we'll still be at a tone that can help you fall asleep. If something really exciting happens, that might get more problematic. Okay.
You might try the podcast Sleeping with Celebrities, where...
No, Greg.
You might try the podcast Us, which is...
We do not encourage the audience to turn off the show.
Not turn it off, just to have dual audio.
Have 2 shows. Okay.
Have 2 shows.
But how does that... Okay. I'm overthinking this.
And a white noise machine and a fan.
2 of this.
That's how I sleep in my room.
We could
Not
just
by choice, but it is how I sleep.
All right, burner account's going to go check it out. See you later, burner account. Okay. 2 of each material resource, 4 more cards of our choice, and then 2 additional cards of our choice. Any preferences, team?
Rich, is there anything you want? No, there isn't, because you're about to retire.
Oh, do you guys want 5 gold?
Here's what I want. I want herbs and wood is what I want.
Okay. You want me to add an extra wood, Greg?
Yeah, sure.
1 more wood in the deck. What herbs do you like, Greg?
Any old herb will do.
Okay.
What have we never had? I don't think we've ever had the...
Have we had flame fruit?
I don't think we've ever had flame fruit.
All right. Let's put 2 in. So that's 3 cards out of the total of 6 that we can add. How about a 3 coin loot card?
Sure. Yeah. Take some coin.
And then, you know what? Because I'm the bone shaper, put corpse cap in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this should be now a 12-card deck if I've counted right. Let's not bet on that.
Bonus says flame and axe are the rarer of the herbs, so flame is a good choice.
All right. So we had 2 rare axe nuts, and we were like, let's blend this up into a poisonous milkshake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I miscounted. How about another axe nut, since we've, as we discussed, blent our supply into a disgusting slurry.
I
I
remember
like this.
that.
I like this Slurry.
Okay. I'm shuffling the loot deck. Now let's learn the rules of the slot machine.
Jesus
Of
Christ.
which there are. Okay. All characters may individually.
We're not playing a battle tonight. It's just
This is a real, like, at this point, it might, like, if we think Lauren is going to be back next week, it might be best to just, like, draw this out another 30 minutes. We're at our 10:30. We've done an episode, and we start with Lauren next week. Like,
Well,
we're definitely not getting through a whole
we are not.
scenario tonight.
Yeah, we are not doing a whole scenario. So,
Mm.
well, let's keep going. And
See how long this
and
takes.
we'll play it by ear.
I'm not having a terrible time for sure.
No,
Like, this is
no,
fun.
we're having fun. The gang's all here.
And we
I
are,
mean, the gang's not all
by
here. Why
definition, playing
why of all
Frosthaven.
possible phrases I could have expressed to say that we're having fun, would I say the gang's all here? We're talking about how Lauren's not here. All characters can pull the slot machine lever as many times as they choose.
Oh, I do that infinity times till 10:30.
For each pull, pay 6 gold and draw
Oh.
3 loot cards
I
from the
don't-
slot machine deck. If 2 resource cards match, that character gains 2 gold. If all 3 loot cards are the same type, instead gain the resources shown on the cards. Otherwise gain nothing. So we should not have built the slot machine deck this way. We should have read all of the rules.
Yeah, we should have.
So let's unwind this and say we're not going to put any herbs in there.
No, because there's only 2 of each herb.
We are in fact going to put nothing but resources.
Well, hold on. Did we have the option to know these rules before we made those decisions?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's all printed. We could
It's
have
all
read
one
ahead.
paragraph. I just
Okay.
stopped in the middle of the paragraph. Okay, so
Yeah, just put all of the resources in there. That's all you got to do.
all right. So right now we have 3 lumber, 2 metal, and 2 hide. That's 7. We can add 5 more resources. So how about we add? Why don't we just do 4 of each? Or do we want to really try to lean on it and make something good happen for us? Oh, you know what? We don't even really, because of the loot, I've set up the loot deck for the scenario. We don't even have enough cards to do that.
All
How
right,
about we just do 4 of each?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I only have enough to pull it once. Rich
Oh, you know
can't
what?
pull it at all.
Now I'm gonna
You're
go.
the only one who can really pull multiple times.
Okay, I've put all the available lumber in,
Nice.
so that's 5, and then there are 2 metal and 2 hide, so that's 9. We can add 3 more. What do we have more of, Greg? Hide or metal?
We have more hide. Much more hide.
All right.
Hide is a prosperous thing. We've got 8 altogether.
Then I will put nothing metal. So now, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom. Okay. Now we have a slot machine deck.
Okay.
I'm shuffling her up.
Hooray!
So, Rich, you only have 5 gold, so you can't pull the slot machine even once.
No, I'm excited to watch you though.
That's how I like to gamble, is watching other people do it.
It's also how I like to gamble. There's like just enough anxiety involved.
All right. All right.
Oh no, he could lose everything. And then if he does,
really
you're
hope
like,
this works out
oh
for him."
man, he lost everything. Bummer.
Glad I only had 5 gold.
Okay. Man, among the various reasons that I'm sad that Norm Macdonald died, I'm bummed we're not getting a second Norm Macdonald book. Or maybe we will. We'll find out he wrote one. But it seems unlikely at this point. But in his book that he did write, which I can't remember the name of,
Based on a true story. is
based
the
on
name
a
of
true
the book.
story, a memoir, or something like that, he has a really eloquent passage where he describes his experiences as a gambling addict and where the thrill is. And it's all in the possibility between when the dice are thrown and when they land. When anything can happen. All right. Speaking of, Greg, it's time for you to get your first taste of that. You going to pull that?
I'm gonna pull it.
You gonna
Spending
pull
6
it?
gold.
Okay. Draw 3 loot cards. If 2 match, you get 2 gold, which is not paying out well. But if all 3 match, we get the resources shown on the cards, which would be really good.
Yeah, that's a lot of potential lumber.
All right. Are you ready, Greg?
I'm ready.
All right. Please mime the action of pulling a slot machine handle.
I already did it,
Okay.
but I'll do it a second time.
I wasn't looking, so it didn't happen.
Boom!
All right. Metal. Lumber. But do you get $2 back? Hide.
Nope.
Nothing. Okay.
Well, that's my game. I'm out.
All right. Well,
that was fun.
James, you have 26 gold. You could pull this thing a number of times.
all right. Well,
do it.
I'll do it at least once.
Do it twice. Do it at least twice. Commit to 2.
I got a feeling that if the feeling I have is actually not related to the slot machine. I was going to say that if we
I think you should commit to 2 though.
if we do a scenario, if we do an episode where we don't start a scenario, I bet it will get our worst views ever on YouTube. Wait, but how would it? Because they'll be.
How would they know?
Well,
because they would know at this when they get to this point. I'll be like, oh, fuck.
The title, obviously, like I'm not going to false advertise, so I won't call the episode "Edge of the World" if we didn't even start the Edge of the World scenario. And
you'll call it Edge of the World Prelude.
Or call it the edge of the world. And if they don't read that properly, that's on them.
You know what hurt us? Normally, episode 2s are the ones that draw the slowest, like part 2s of a cliffhanger, which makes a lot of sense. But also, it turned out that I called the second episode to the Outpost and Beyond because we did our first Outpost phase, so it doesn't have the name of the scenario, and that's the next least viewed episode. I could really probably just go. I could retitle that at any time. Yes, that's true. What is there a name for the space right before you're at the edge?
That's just flat land. That's just normal.
Yeah, name it just flat land.
Is there a liminal space? We could call it on the road.
On the road to the edge of the world. I like Rich's suggestion, edge of the world.
Yeah. The edge of the edge. All right. Well, who knows?
How about just fucking around?
I mean, I don't see us getting another half hour
just
of
3
me
W's
shuffling
who
this
can't
deck.
even start a game.
Here we go. My first pull. All right. Ching, 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 ching. 6 coins in. Boom. Pulls the lever. Metal. Lumber. Metal.
Hey,
$2 back. Okay, so that puts me at. I have 22 gold.
All right. Okay, now you have to commit to 3.
22 gold. All right. I'm excited. I believe in it.
You gonna do it again?
There's no reason to.
Pull it.
Chink.
All right.
James, you're my friend that would worry me the most if you got a gambling addiction.
You developed a gambling addiction?
Oh, I won't be gambling.
Of all of my friends, you'd be the one I'd be most worried about.
I will never gamble.
Like if you developed a gambling addiction,
yes.
Not that you would, but if you did, I don't know that it goes in. I feel like there's only one ending.
I don't think it's utterly implausible.
You don't have any thumbs.
That I could develop a gambling addiction.
What do we need money for?
Ching. 6 coins. And lumber. Metal. Man, I have better luck with the Super Mario Bros. 2 end of stage slot machine than this. Lumber. I got 2 coins. All right. So that puts me at 18.
But you better play again.
Let it ride. It's a cold machine.
Last one, I'm gonna say that. Last one, James.
It's gonna heat up.
It probably will heat up, Greg. Like he has to. Yes.
Imagine, Greg, if I go one more time and I get 2 out of 3 again, and then we leave, and then some fucking vermling comes along, hits the jackpot. We're coming back from the edge of the world, and there's a vermling in just the hidiest coat you've ever seen. He's got a trail like he's a bride in a royal wedding.
And then how will you feel, Greg?
Awful. I'll feel absolutely terrible that somebody besides me is successful.
Fuck those people.
No, you know what? The Bone Shaper is happy if she sees a vermling doing well because she doesn't like racism. She's too arcane for that. I was going to say educated, and I was like, no, that's inaccurate. It's not fair to claim that educated people aren't racist. But arcane people definitely aren't. So Here we go.
Yeah, we can say that definitively. There's not an arcane person on Earth who's racist.
Yeah, come on.
Like,
Show me.
not that I've ever met.
Show me one necromancer that you've ever met who harbors a racist thought in their mind. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. And it's spinning really
Jack 5.
slowly for maximum tension. What do we got? Metal. Come on, baby. At least let me feel the rush of thinking that third card might be the jackpot. Lumber.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so obviously the real answer was I should have bit the bullet and said, all right, I'm going to take the loot deck and we're just going to put nothing but one resource in here. This is too balanced. This deck is militated towards and metal. Okay, 2 coins back. So I won 6 coins back while spending 18 for a net loss of 12 coins.
Take my 5.
Should I let it ride?
Wait, what are you at right now, James? What are you at?
What am I at? If I've spent 12 coins, I'm at 14.
You could do one more.
All right. Why not? We're here.
When will we be here again?
I
Whenever
was
we
playing
next
this
roll
game,
card.
Sheriff of Nottingham, with some of Lauren's friends, actually. New Year's Eve, maybe? And so the point of this game, it's all about, it's like everyone gets a turn being like the customs agent of Nottingham. And so the other people say, you know, I declare this many goods, and you can choose whether to check their load or not. And so the goal is to obviously get a lot of goods through, and you can and you're allowed to lie. And so if the sheriff checks your goods,
Is the winner of this game just declared Robin Hood?
no, I don't think Robin Hood's not really in Sheriff of Nottingham.
No, it's just about what the Sheriff of Nottingham is doing when Robin Hood's not around.
Yeah, it's just merchants. But
I'll tell you what the Sheriff of Nottingham's doing when Robin Hood's not around.
Yeah.
He's plotting how he's going to capture that Robin Hood.
when I was a
Damn
kid,
sexy fox!
when I was a kid,
I'm kidding. Yeah.
and I would watch there was some Robin Hood cartoon on the TV, and whenever they would show the gauntleted fist of the Sheriff of Nottingham, I thought that the Sheriff of Nottingham had like an animated prosthetic hand.
Some metal fist.
Because he rules Nottingham with an iron fist. I didn't know, I was not familiar with the metaphor, and he's wearing a gauntlet all the time in the show, so I thought, this guy actually,
the sheriff.
no wonder he's the sheriff.
He wears a crown that falls down his head because it's too big, because it's meant to fit the bigger lion.
So
it's symbolic that he's unworthy of the crown.
So anyway, you can check people's goods.
There's only one animated Robin Hood, G.
And then they have to show you the goods. And if there's anything they're not supposed to have, they have to pay a fine. But if they have what they declared and you've wasted their time, you're the one who gets penalized. And one round, this is all leading up to why I'm willing to let it ride on this slot machine that we've already discussed isn't going to work because of how we built the deck. One round, the first round that I was the sheriff, I was really confident that one person, one of the people had lied. And so I challenged them because they were up first. And they were not lying. It was true. And so I had a penalty there. And then I went to the second player, and I had an inkling that she might be. And so I tried that and got burned again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did it a third time to the next player and got burned. And then it came to the last guy. And I knew I was 100% sure, based on what he had declared, that it was a strategy. Because he was like, I have 5 of these. And I was like, well, that's too obvious of a lie to be a lie. That's probably true, that he just happened to have his entire hand of cards he could choose from. It was all the same thing. But I was like, you know what? I'm committed to the bit now. So I just want to put it on the record, everybody, that I know that you declared truthfully. And now I'm going to check you. And I could not recover. Like, I lost the game because I committed to the bit in that round and just brutalized myself. So here we are. 6 more coins into a slot machine.
Wait,
as we've
that
discussed,
was a story where it completely didn't work out for you, James. You're saying that's the reason why you're letting it ride now?
Well, in the sense that the reason is that I am willing to commit to a bit
Can't happen twice.
to my own detriment.
Okay, go for it.
Not because that gives me hope. I, in fact, want to be very clear that I'm aware that I'm hurting myself by doing this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls the slot machine handle. Wait. And it does nothing. I didn't put the coins in. And it spins and it spins and it spins. All right. Come on. Everybody. Feel it in your heart.
All right.
Sweet taste of getting a small amount of resources in exchange for a ton of money. Lumber.
Okay.
Come on. At least hide.
Yeah. No, we're fucked.
Do I at least get 2 back? Metal.
Nope. This was a complete loss.
Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
All right, moving on.
All right.
20 minutes to do this scenario. Let's do it.
Okay. So, there we go. I didn't even get money back on that. I was at 14, so now I'm at 8.
Yep.
18 coins.
18 coins.
Don't gamble, kids. Nobody wins when you gamble. At least if you lose this hard. Okay, so here we are. We have not made it to 90 minutes. But I see the logic of saying, you know what? Lauren can join us to start the scenario. Do we want to just
call it an early night and having just done...
It was...
I think that's the move.
Yeah.
Unless we can, we could give her 5 minutes to respond as to whether she thinks she's available next week.
She already said she does think she's there. Although she also said that for this week. But
well, can you do us a preview, James? Can you tell us the setup?
Oh yeah. Do you mean you want me to read the scenario text and stuff?
Well, are you just going to read it again when Lauren's here for her
Yeah, that's
benefit?
the thing. I don't think it makes sense.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Give us the basic preview. What is the goal?
Just take a look. Okay, yeah. Let's learn about the Edge of the World scenario, which may result in the retirement of the Blinkblade. I almost said the Craighart. All right. So this is the opening.
Oh, remember that guy?
Yeah.
I do, very well.
I think he was killed by a dog.
So here we are. And yeah, so this is going to be the opening room. Although it's actually, if Lauren's here, there will be 1 additional elite lurker soldier and 1 additional, I'm not sure if it's a normal elite, but 1 more claw crusher. The claw crushers, Arachnia, hello! The claw crushers, as you might imagine, are the really big ones with the giant claws that look like they could really crush you.
Yeah,
and the soldiers are just the lurkers. Like, the lurkers from Gloomhaven are now lurker soldiers because we for whatever reason, and I'm not complaining or saying I think this was a bad idea, but when they thought about what did we have in Gloomhaven, and when we go to Frosthaven, what should we explore more? They're like, well, if it's really, really, really cold, we should flesh out the crab monster and have multiple different types of crab monsters. Crab monsters like to live in cold climates, right? I don't think that's...
Yes, they do.
They do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, famously the North Sea off Alaska is where those big crabs come from.
All right. Well, geez. There we go. There. Learn something every day. I saw so many crabs.
It's like crabs this whole thing.
I thought crab's whole thing was going sideways.
Nope. Lobsters too. They only can live in a certain band. They can't be too warm or too cold, but
that's interesting.
If they get too warm, they get delicious, and that's a problem.
That's true. That's
I'll
a huge issue.
When I was a kid, I saw so many crab skeletons washed up on the beach at the cottage that I thought that would the crabs looked a lot like just like bones, but they would be animated if they were alive. That's not the case.
And we would probably still see those if there were fewer than 6 trillion mosquitoes at the cottage now when we go.
Well, on that note, we may never go.
Let's go in April.
Oh, jeez. Burner account's got me there. It's not fair to call these people crab monsters. They're just crab folks.
They're crabmen.
for that matter, the fact that we now know that they have complex social structures and hierarchies and stuff kind of strongly suggests that it's really unfair to call them monsters. I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up learning something about the Lurkers.
But perfectly fair to kill them all, or at least 2.
Well, in this particular, like, we got to remember, it's just like with the Algox. The game did not waste much time being like, no, the Algox are not a generic barbarian enemy. They are a people with their own internal divisions, and some of them are friendly and some of them aren't.
And the issue presented with the Crabmen from all the way back in Gloomhaven is that they don't share language with us. Their language is completely indecipherable.
Yeah, like I assume it
better kill them.
Involves a lot of clicking.
Yeah, a lot of mandibles.
Yeah. So perhaps, maybe that's what the Coral Crown does. We have 1 shard of the 5 shards of the Coral Crown. Maybe.
That sounds too different from me to let them live. So let's kill them next week.
You want to...
Well, I can't learn their language.
Well, maybe we will.
No. If they're not willing to learn mine.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to come to Frosthaven, you need to integrate, is what you're saying.
Okay, so...
I mean... Well, I came to Frosthaven, so they need to integrate.
I'm sick of having to press 1 for Aesler.
What?
Press 1 for Acer.
Yeah.
2 for Vermling.
This is a thing that American politicians complain about. You gotta press 1 for English now. I was like, okay.
So?
Press 1. They made English number 1. What are you complaining about? Oh, man.
You don't even need to listen to the rest of the list. Just hit 1 and you're out.
Yeah. Like, man, we live in a place where almost nobody speaks French. But because we have an officially bilingual country, everything provides a French option. French isn't even...
true. We're the third most French populous province.
Oh, and yet, like, at least here in our city, I believe the second most spoken language is Urdu, not French.
Yeah, it's true. But there are places near the border and down south where they're... And not to mention Cape Breton. Half of Cape Breton is very French.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to be in here. It's going to be just a fight. Like, the goal of this scenario is called... The goal of the scenario is to kill the Coral Corpse, which I assume is a frozen corpse monster with special properties.
Sure.
So yeah, we're gonna meet these. We're gonna meet the Claw Crushers as one new type of Lurker. I won't spoil it, although it is inherently spoiled for me as the game runner. That we are going to meet another type of Lurker, and then we are going to meet the Frozen Corpse enemy, which is not. I mean, I assume it will actually play fairly similarly to the Living Corpse, but it's not just like a living corpse, but they put like a blue tint on it. It's a great picture. I'll save that for next. But okay, so that's it. We want to say hey.
So wait, for the record, sorry, we don't have to actually kill any of these guys. We just have to kill corpse.
Yeah, we just gotta kill the enemy, but also like, I don't think we want to advance through the.
No. We don't want to ignore them. But when we do find them, they are the priority. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not kill all enemies. It's specifically kill this one guy.
When we find the one we want to kill, we want to just kill it. It's an assassination from then on in.
Yeah.
We can't just be leaving people behind us, especially because I'm reliant on summons, and they won't come along if we've left people behind from the fight.
Understood. Good stuff.
So that's it? Are we going to just say, hey?
We've got 10 minutes, James. We're going to get like one turn done.
Okay.
Not even. We will get our characters
read the text
on the board.
Yeah. Which is, you can watch Rich really hem and haw on whether he wants to go in 5 or 6.
Okay. So then here's what I want to do, although I would have preferred to save this for when Lauren was here. But what do we think of Frosthaven so far? Just general thoughts, Rich.
I mean, I'm having a good time.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, you mean, like
as a sequel to Gloomhaven? What do you think?
As a sequel to Gloomhaven, I think it's great. the problem is I played Forgotten Circles as a sequel to Gloomhaven because, like, I don't really differentiate between like sequels and like
DLC.
what? It's not add-on.
DLC
It's
expansion.
expansions, DLC.
Yeah, expansion.
It's a Gaiden, you could call it. Maybe.
Yeah, like it was. In my mind, there were 3 games with the same like game mechanic, and like I'm having so much more fun playing this game than Forgotten Circles that I actually feel like I might be forgetting how much fun I had playing Gloomhaven in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to say this is way better than anything we've ever done because it feels like that's true. But like,
But in the
Forgotten
halcyon
Circles
days when we were young,
yeah, man, like, Forgotten Circles was so bad.
it was, yeah. Forgotten Circles really started. I thought it was good. I thought the start of Forgotten Circles was good, but it really dragged. And this
And it
already,
also like
it's moving so much faster.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
scenario
and
to
like
scenario.
like this is probably just the like James, the producer of the show, is now like a bit more comfortable. But it also felt like Forgotten Circles was so fucking complicated for no reason.
Yeah.
That like
No, 100%.
it was hard. It was like noticeably
enough.
hard for James to have fun.
Here's the thing I'll
Like,
say. I think
felt like I was playing with my friend Flustered James.
There was at least one scenario where James was legitimately angry for half of it, like upset.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Like, I
And
can't
it wasn't
remember.
because the stream was falling behind.
No.
Because 2 weeks ago, James was
I will
angry
say,
the whole
yeah,
time.
two weeks ago was the most upset I've ever seen James playing this game.
And and so fortunately, what I'm grateful for, although I was not grateful at the time, is that I messed up at the end and cut the thing off because it was still broadcasting what we had done. Because it really did get worse, folks. I did not have fun at all. And it wasn't the game's fault. It was just because I kept screwing up and I felt more and more angry with myself. But
no, like during Frosthaven, there were times when you were running the scenario where you were just like, okay, and now here we go. And you would just do like 20 random things while we sat and like side talked about like what the weather, just whatever else was going on. And at the end you'd be like, okay, Rich, it's your turn.
Burner account raises a fair point though, and so okay, I think that oddly enough, because of especially in light of what both of you are saying right now, I think that it sounds like I had the most fun out of everybody with Forgotten Circles. And one thing I would certainly say for Forgotten Circles is that I wouldn't say it's unnecessarily complicated for no reason so much as that it was unnecessarily complicated in a spirit of experimentation and seeing what could be done within the engine. And Burner Account pointed out that one thing that Forgotten Circles absolutely did was it test ran a much better way to organize the scenario book, and led to this even better method.
Which is a thing I
doesn't affect you.
I don't. That doesn't exist to me.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
No, I'm just making
I'll
this
agree
up.
with you though.
Yeah, so the scenario book section
like what
book
exists
setup,
to me is how engaged with me is my friend James.
And the answer was barely at all.
Not at all.
But you know what? One of my favorite scenarios in Forgotten Circles was the time travel one where we showed up at a battle and had to get involved. And that one practically played itself. But it was a lot, like, even when I was playing it, like, there'd be like a stretch of every round where I'd be like, all right, hang on, guys. And there'd be like 10 minutes before I was like, okay, someone else gets a turn.
And we played that multiple times because we lost multiple times.
Twice at least, if not 3.
But it always felt like we were just trying to find the optimal strategy and like work it,
and
as opposed
just
to
it with the Beast Tyrant.
But even then, that was us discovering a strategy using the characters at our disposal.
Just told us. But yes,
that's a form of discovery.
It is. It's the classic Legend of Zelda style. Finding out on the playground that you can burn this tree down to get in a dungeon.
But But there were other scenarios that we played multiple times where our issue wasn't that. I mean, most notably that Hail escort mission where there was just like a 25, like
really
if we
strong...
don't play a certain card, there's a 25% chance that we just lose on the first round.
That's
and
true.
even if we have a card,
but you know what?
How does that make it into the game?
How do you put that in a game?
I do think that was silly, and yet I'll also say for that scenario, in that scenario's defense, that the thing that could suddenly kill you, and it was all just based on luck and not even like good odds, was right at the start, which made it easy to set it back up. And so that scenario, to play it, I think we died twice and then won. And that might have been
And we did it in one, yeah.
That was one of two scenarios that we finished in a single night, with the other one being the diplomacy scenario of Forgotten Circles. And that one... Yeah, so like that one wasn't even bad once you got past the really poorly thought out first round.
Yeah.
But some of them... the escape scenario with the husk...
Yes. That one
was... like... I didn't even mind... how hard it was to escape, and when we finally escaped, I felt like we had like really optimized and done it well. But it's a real kick in the teeth when it's like, guess what, losers?
You weren't supposed to escape at all.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to do what the goal was. Are you stupid or something?
Yeah.
It
was all in the spirit. It's all in the spirit of experimentation, and I think they did find the limits.
That. Burner account,
which good.
Burner account just killed the husk the first time, and we ought to.
Of course, he did burner account. We ought to have, but they were like, "He's immortal." It's not our fault for taking the rules at face value.
I think it was not our fault the first time, and maybe arguably even the second time. But somewhere in the like 5 times we tried that, we ought to have been like, well, let's this time just see what happens if we fight him down, because it says go to this page if you get him down to 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I think like we can debate it all we want, but we've been playing a game for a couple hours every Friday for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, nah, let's not finish this one.
That's true. Although I would not have...
We were close. I would not
have got to... That is true. And we were in the last scenario too. But I would not have got to that point had Frosthaven not arrived. I would have been like, let's keep trying. But Frosthaven arrived. And certainly when Frosthaven arrived,
James,
there was never another moments of thought.
Yeah,
but we were so happy for Forgotten Circles to be over that when we did our unboxing video, at one point Greg said, "I just need to stop and take a few breaths. I'm so excited."
But James, what I want to emphasize is what you just said was I would have finished it if there was nothing else.
Yes. So it wore out its welcome. But it tried some cool ideas. I think there were some good scenarios. I can't remember what they were, except the ones that I've just mentioned, but there was some cool stuff. I really liked the Diviner as a character. So, not necessarily, like, I got nothing against Cassandra as a character in the narrative, but I could take or leave it. But the Diviner as a character to play in scenarios was cool. But
they were great.
Certainly.
So when we play Kingmaker, are we gonna stream?
Yeah, I mean, if we ever actually do that, I don't see why we wouldn't.
If we ever do it,
we made a commitment.
Yeah.
That after Gloomhaven, which we're still playing, we will play Kingmaker.
Yeah. And that will come.
And I'll never play a video game, so I don't spoil myself on it.
Because I'm really excited for the bit where we tell Robert, like, no, man, like, you actually promised you to do this.
Like Robert.
This was what you
You
never said you're out of Kingmaker.
A thought just ran through my head. Yeah, sometimes, Britter Camp points out, after 4 years when we're done with Frosthaven. And also, I do this a lot on the weekends while I'm doing my video game streams, where I start talking about, once we finish Ultima 7, we're going to do Quest for Glory 3, Quest for Glory 4, and then we'll do Ultima Underworld, and then maybe, I've projected out, like I don't even have to pick any games to play next year.
No.
Because you can only play them so fast. But yeah, so yeah. Greg, what is your general reaction besides just comparing it to Forgotten Circles to Frosthaven
Besides,
so far?
well, I mean, comparing it to what comes in the past, because this is an extension of the Gloomhaven universe, right? I've also played some Jaws of Lion.
Yep.
I'm really liking it. I really like these new classes. I think they're the right level of they feel so far more balanced than the Gloomhaven classes were, because there were some real heavy shifts in balance between classes in Gloomhaven. And we've only seen 4 of them so far, but even then, they've got interesting gimmicks, and the scenarios have been interesting. There hasn't, even though we're still very much in the early game, like we're very much in the first quarter, maybe even the first fifth of this game. There's been a nice variety. It hasn't been samey. It hasn't just been go in and kill all the monsters every time, but it also hasn't yet. There's been a few times where it's touched that level where it was just the right level of difficulty, where we were like, up until like the last or second to last turn, we were like, oh, this is real 50-50 whether or not we're going to do this. Where I felt once we got over that,
certainly had no problems last week.
No,
but
really
that
did.
was not that was not a hard scenario for sure.
No. But like I felt
last
like
week was a real Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson just feel like yeah, okay, we'll play these toddlers 2-on-2.
Yeah, we'll play it. There's apparently a Japanese show in which a group of retired professional baseball players, some of which who have retired like earlier that week, play high school teams in Japan. And what's interesting is sometimes it's like a close game, and sometimes these high school kids really have these pros number, and sometimes they just decimate them.
Yeah.
They're just running the bases.
I could never think of his name because I'm not a basketball guy, and he's not a notable basketball player, because the point of the story is that he wasn't. But there was a guy who was just like, he's a middling NBA player, and I saw an interview with him where he talked about like people constantly like not just challenge me like, hey man, let's have a game, but like people will recognize me.
Oh, Brian Scalabrine. Yeah, that was Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah.
We said I'm closer to Michael Jordan than you are to me.
Yeah, like they'll be like, you're a loser because I know that you're an unsuccessful NBA player. So come on, show me what you got. And then he just clowns on them because, in fact, the worst player who has ever started in an NBA game is one of the greatest basketball players who ever lived.
Yeah.
So that's called the Scalabrini Challenge, and there's like hours of footage of people like college basketball players, like people who had like careers till they were 25 playing him one-on-one, and him just like standing there being like, look, I'm fucking 9 feet tall, man. Like there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
Before we get
back, you were hoping for extra Frosthaven content tonight, and we're letting you down because we didn't actually play. Go check out the Brian Scalabrine Challenge on YouTube.
Yeah,
right.
It's a click away if you're watching this.
We got to get back to Frosthaven before we wrap up here in a second. But what was I about to ask? I might have actually forgotten. It was something about sports. We're talking about Brian Scalabrine being very tall. Oh no, it's nothing to do with. It's an offshoot of the amateur challenging a pro. You know that somewhat controversial, or maybe not controversial, but widely ridiculed poll where they polled a bunch of men and said, "Do you think you could win a point against Serena Williams in a game of tennis?"
Yeah,
that's bananas.
I thought about that, and I was like, if they asked me that, like I would say no for the sake of answering the poll's intended thing that it's trying to gauge. But do I think that there's a possibility, especially if we were playing a 5-set game, that Serena Williams would get so bored of beating me that she would commit an unforced error?
No.
Sure.
There's a 0% chance.
Don't get bored.
Maybe not.
No, athlete, like
that's the
athletes at that level, whether they're the best ever like she is, or like Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah.
if they decide to focus on something, they don't lose focus.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I'm
you're
not
not-
confident that Serena Williams would decide to focus on me if she was playing me.
She would.
I'm
for
very
sure.
confident that
She
could
would
be
be like, "Oh, you."
you know, like I haven't talked to my sister in a while, so I'm just gonna take this call while we play. Like, but anyway,
She
here's
steps
the
on
thing.
it. She steps on a tennis court, and
That,
it's just like,
yeah,
we're
that makes
playing
sense.
tennis now.
Yeah,
I should
like
murder this person.
because like my answer as far as my own skills is like I do not think that I would make contact with the ball except when I was serving, or if it hit me when she was serving. But I do hold out the possibility of just being like, oh man,
That
when
ball
is this
would
gonna
only
be
hit
over?
her
Oops.
racket and the line every
Oops.
time.
Oops, I outed.
That's it.
It wouldn't even hit the line. She would just lob serves to him, and he wouldn't return most of them. Like they wouldn't have to be on the line. They would just have to be like, he'd have to take a few steps to get to them.
Oh, I'm not
Like, if
returning
it's-
Serena
if
Williams' serves.
If it's going 80 kilometers an hour, James is not
Mhm.
returning that serve, and she can serve twice as fast as that probably.
Or he could throw his racket
Yeah.
like Luigi and just get it.
The poll gets at a generally funny thing that you see a lot of, which is idiot dudes thinking that the admitted biological fact that on average the average man is stronger than the average woman, and the elitist strongest man is stronger than the elitist strongest woman.
Oh my god, I was not even close to right. Serena Williams' fastest recorded serve is 128 miles an hour.
Miles.
Wow.
I was
Miles.
under. So yeah,
Ooh.
No.
so her 80-kilometer serve, which I still don't think James is hitting.
No.
She's probably just.
Shoot
She
me.
could do that on the phone, James.
yeah. All right. So my hope of a distraction point is out. In tennis, can you get disqualified like in pro wrestling for kicking too much ass? Because maybe the third time that she just puts a serve right in my kidney, the umpire would be like, you know what? We're just going to give him that one. And I'd be like, yes! But yeah, you see this in Facebook comment sections if you go on Facebook now, because the Facebook algorithm at this point will show you one thing of a person you know for every 7 things that make you angry. Oh yeah, burner account. I've seen that. Like similar ones with animals. Can you take on a bear? Can you take on a gator?
Yeah.
So if you're trained, like the crocodile hunter demonstrated, you can take on a crocodile if you're a trained expert in a relatively, like, you're prepared for it too. But yeah, no, people have some weird ideas. Like, here's my thought about a bear. If I had to take on a bear, could I play dead successfully? Maybe. Or maybe I get too freaked out when the bear was sniffing me, and I'd be like,
Well, here's the thing.
And they'd be like, oh, this guy's alive.
The thing, James, depending on the bear, playing dead is actually the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
If it's I can't even remember the thing, but it's between black and brown. One of them you want to play dead, and one of them you don't. And I can't remember which it is, so I'm definitely not surviving that.
You want to do big body to black bear. You want
Okay.
to play dead for grizzly bear, and there is nothing you can do for polar bear.
No,
polar bears
it doesn't matter. They'll eat you.
Don't be fooled by the charisma of the polar bear. They're horrifying.
We've been killing polar bears in this game, so
yeah,
that's true.
Send them out on ice floes.
They're not that hard to kill.
Like, if I was a necromancer, maybe I could take on a polar bear.
All I had to do was punch the polar bear twice. I had to punch him once, and then run around and then punch him again, and he was dead.
Punch him with a knife. So anyway, in the Facebook comment sections, dudes always want to be like, they think the fact that if Serena Williams played Roger Federer, he would beat her, means anything about them. Or like, if a WNBA team took on an NBA team, it wouldn't even be close. It's like, okay.
So?
Okay. But if you got in there, sir...
Yeah, they would. It would be worse than the Harlem Globetrotters because they wouldn't even be trying to be entertaining.
Like the Washington Generals would be there on the sidelines being like, this is freaking embarrassing.
Yeah, but
I
none
would
of
never
these-
allow
none of
myself
those
to be
teams,
publicly humiliated like this.
None of these teams could beat 6 Larry Birds, though.
Yeah. All right. Now, as for
That's
myself,
too many Larry Birds.
I think the
Wait, are there
Frosthaven.
only 6? Because they can't sub out at all. They're gonna be exhausted by the end of that game.
Greg, there are only 5 players on the court in a basketball game. They can cycle them out.
That's fair. You know what? You're completely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. That's
But
enough.
Larry Bird, so one of
Larry
them would
Birds.
just be lying on the sideline, being like, "Ah, my back hurts. I wish my back didn't hurt all the time."
Oh wait, hold on.
It
We're
sucks
not
being Larry Bird.
we're not aging the Larry Birds down to like when he was playing.
Oh man, every version of Larry Bird had a sore back. That was his
Okay.
thing.
Ah, poor Larry Bird.
But
That's
just
pain.
for fun, let's use a time travel thing. So one of them is like a 5-year-old child. One of them's 18.
Oh.
One of them's
The seasons of Larry Bird
yeah.
form a team against you.
Because you could probably take 5-year-old Larry Bird.
But
if you were a
there
time
was-
traveler, is that what you would do? Just travel back in time and take on 5
I would certainly be like, guys, I'll guard the 5-year-old Larry Bird.
if there's a 10-year-old to 60-year-old Larry Bird, we're fucked. Just one.
Bring this
Like,
all full circle.
One bar mitzvah age Larry Bird.
And one
Yeah.
bar mitzvah age Larry Bird. Alright, so to bring this all full circle with no transition whatsoever, I'll say on my part that, yeah, I think Frosthaven is great so far. I think that, like, okay, I agree with Greg about the characters. I think they're better fleshed out. I think another thing that, again, we can say that, you know, Forgotten Circles threw it all at the wall, and then Frosthaven is the benefit of being like, okay, and like picking and choosing, is that Forgotten Circles went for it hard with the gimmicks. Like 1,000 gimmicks in every scenario. In base Gloomhaven, I remember when we were playing it, my early complaint, to the extent that I had one, because I had a lot of fun when we started playing Gloomhaven, was that I knew there were going to be cool scenarios with cool rules, and it took a very long time to get to them.
Yeah.
It did.
And I think that Frosthaven so far has struck a great balance where we have had some heavy gimmick scenarios, but even the heavy gimmick scenarios aren't like, they're not running themselves and they're not overwhelming to keep track of, but like
I don't know what part of Gloomhaven this actually was, but when I was the scoundrel is my that's my memory of Prime Gloomhaven.
That would
like
be
the most fun we had.
Yeah, that would be pretty far in because you retired last out of all of us. But the Scoundrel was your second character, so it wasn't like it was maybe like 40% of our time of the way through our Gloomhaven time or something like that. And I think you're right that right in that middle was the sweet spot. But yeah, like here, like most of the scenarios have just been like fight a fight, win the fight, or escape. But even some of those, like I think my favorite so far was the start of the Ancient Spire with the mezzanine assassination.
That was sweet.
That was a cool use of a few well articulated gimmick rules to not only create a fun challenge or a fun like gameplay setup, but also it really fleshed out like when I was trying to picture what's going on. Like it's like, okay, yeah, like the words mezzanine don't appear in that scenario description, and the scenario rules don't go for flavor text, and yet it was easy to picture. Like, okay, yeah, one of us has to go up there, but then the elevator is stuck up there, and so the rest of us are fighting down here, and they're raining shots down on us. It was cool. So I like that. That is one thing that Frosthaven picked up from Forgotten Circles and ran with in a more refined way. I do think the events are better so far, but I think the thing that I was the most excited about vis-a-vis events based on Frosthaven on the Kickstarter updates hasn't manifested yet, which is some of the we have done an event that the only outcome was to seed a later event.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool to wait. Like, eventually we're gonna find out what happened with that guy. I can't even remember what the guy was, but we're gonna find out, and it's gonna be cool.
And we added the exclamation point to the map there for reading a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
the
we're
passage
gonna-
of time thing, even though so far nothing's happened, because we've just done 4 weeks that were all just blank weeks, it is cool to know that just some stuff is going to just happen. And we
Yeah,
don't have a
and
choice.
winter-
And what is it going to be? I
Winter
don't know.
does feel like it's looming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I kind
Winter
of,
is looming, a very common saying.
Yeah.
maybe I didn't want to say just the regular old saying that everybody knows.
Winter is looming.
Winter looms, baby. And
Winter is looming.
yeah, but yeah, the winter is coming, or looming.
Mm-hmm.
Winter approaches. And on top
Winter
of that,
approaches.
just generally speaking, I do get the impression, although it hasn't really started happening yet, that some of this Outpost stuff is obviously going to wind up actually changing especially like when buildings start getting wrecked, but like because of a big attack and we can't just build them all back, it's going to start affecting the game more.
Yes.
So there's going to be more integration there. We just got our first Outpost attack, Outpost raid this week, and it was kind of cool. And the stakes will presumably be higher later, and that'll be exciting. I obviously am a big fan of the potion crafting with the advent calendar. I think that the art, and not because the art was bad in any way in Gloomhaven, but I think it's leveled up. I think a level up is overall what I would describe this whole experience as so far.
Yeah.
I'm quite enjoying it.
100%.
And yeah. And I don't know what else I really have to offer. So here we are. The first ever episode of Friday Night Frosthaven where we did not play a scenario. I was going to say where we did not play Frosthaven, but that's not fair. Because we did.
We played Frosthaven. We did do a battle. You were the only one pulling cards, but it felt fun. And that was the bit. Oh, actually, before we go,
yes,
because we should wrap up right now.
Yep.
Rich, that was the battle. Those were the events that I was most curious to get your opinion on, as a noted lover of events. That was a different sort of event. How did you feel about it? Legitimately, let's drop the gimmick for a second. Okay.
It was fun for sure.
Yeah.
Would I prefer it just to be like we just play a scenario? On the James happiness scale, yes.
Yeah.
But this was much better. Like if you had described a day where we were just gonna play parts of Frosthaven or Gloomhaven that are not playing a scenario, I would be like, well, that's gonna be fucking terrible. And it was not that.
All right, awesome.
Nice. All right.
Burner account just raised a point that I've commented on a few times, and which is that the color palette is very, it's muted, and Burner account's word was pretty bluish, which is absolutely true, and I have mixed feelings about that because absolutely, as we've seen with the chaos energy beams being represented by bluish gray tiles that can barely be distinguished from the floor and certainly do not look like chaotic energy, it does miss the mark on portraying that particular imagery. And also it does, it can be difficult sometimes to pick the things out correctly, especially if you're the person setting up. Like you look at the setup thing and it's like you want to have the cave corridor tiles. And you look and it's like there's some bluish gray and there's some grayish blue and then there's some blue and then there's some light blue, and I try to match it to the thing because I certainly can't just look at it and be like, well, that's metal and that's cave floor, that's a metal floor, that's a cave floor. So, but on the other hand,
all the blue. If Ethan was watching this, he would just be like, hey, why is there just one blue square underneath you guys? I can't tell different blues apart.
He'll get there.
So there's probably somebody who has logged on and been like, well, I don't know what these guys are playing. I can't see that.
Yeah.
I don't know what
but on the other hand, I do think that the palette makes sense because we're in a frozen cold place. Yeah. And certainly the tiles look great. Like, they're beautifully drawn, and they're like, yeah. So, yeah, really, really good impressions of Frosthaven so far, which is great because, like Burner Kent said, I will be in my 40s before we finish playing this game. You're all gonna grow old with us, watching. Yeah.
Not Greg. Greg
Not
doesn't
Greg.
age.
Yeah.
Greg will be young forever.
Ageless
Clean
Greg.
living.
All right, so probably a good time to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was a lot of fun, even though we didn't actually fight anything or do anything. And I could have done a lot less setup work, but that's okay.
We did
Yeah,
lots.
we fought to save the town. We did a lot, and it was great.
We had fun with a gambling mechanic.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. That was a funny thing we did.
It was. And we know now, because that is a
Greg,
goes back in the
Greg
deck
drew
event.
a ×2.
I drew a ×2 for no good reason.
Yeah.
But it was a great demonstration of the deck.
This road event is a goes back in the deck, so if we encounter it again, we have a clearer sense of what we should do to actually gimmick it, which is pick one resource, go all in on it, and then hopefully stock up. So that's cool. So we learned, and we grew, and we're having fun, and can't go wrong with that. And fingers crossed. Here's the thing that I think really, I try not to guilt Lauren. In fact, I try to go the exact opposite way and make sure there's a clear permission structure where if she doesn't feel up to it, she doesn't feel pressured, so that she's not having fun out of a sense of obligation. But I do think that we can lock in Lauren next week just by telling her about how we did a whole episode where we just didn't start the scenario so that she could start it with us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not why we did it. It was 10-10, and we decided that was the thing to do.
Yep. So that's why if she's like, guys, I'm so sorry because I know you did this, we'll be like, we didn't really, it's okay, don't worry. But I think we'll get Lauren back next week, which is great because I haven't seen Lauren in a little while, and I do like Lauren. She's our friend. So here we are. It's the end of the show. So let me tell you this. Tomorrow, I'll be back in Flan, up in the Moon Sea region of Faerun, the Forgotten Realms, trying to accomplish anything, because I gotta gain a level with my fighter magic user, and I gotta gain a level or two with my cleric fighter magic user. And right now, there's not a lot of easy experience to be had. But I'm gonna go back to SoCal Keep. Maybe there's a few rooms I didn't get to yet. Maybe one of them has a fight with some treasure, because treasure and experience are tied together in AD&D. We can gain a level. If not, I gotta try to take out this huge horde of orcs. And I think I can, but it's gonna be a lot about like tactics and a few dice rolls going my way. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. If we can gain a few levels, maybe we can finally take on those trolls, free the slums, and accomplishing one of my 2 commissions will get us a ton of experience, I assume. I think quest experience is going to be the real big source. Ironically, I need level ups to finish this quest. We'll see how that goes. On Sunday, we're back in Britannia, and specifically on the Isle of Fire, taking on what's left of the Forge of Virtue expansion in Ultima 7, the Black Gate. I completed the Trials of Love and Courage last weekend, and they were both great. And so I quite enjoyed that. And now it's opened up the Test of Infinity, which I will try to accomplish. And if I pull that off, the week after, I don't think there's really anything left to do but go back to the base game and win. So that's exciting. It's been a great time with Ultima 7, but it's coming, or Ultima 7 Part 1, but it's coming to a close. Greg and I, and Greg's finding this out for the first time right now, will not be back on Tuesday because I have to attend a banquet where I may or may not be honored with Instructor of the Year, depending on how the vote went. So I gotta spend the weekend practicing my "I'm happy for Sergey" face.
Oh.
That'll come
but
naturally.
I am happy for Sergey. Sergey's a great guy, but I do wish that the students liked me more than him. And then it'll be Friday again, and we'll all be back here together.
Right.
Friday Night Frosthaven. And I can't wait.
Yeah.
So hey, if you stuck around to the end, wow, that's awesome. Thanks. I'm glad you're here with us. If you watched to the end on YouTube, same deal. I hope you got something out of it. And,
Also sorry.
And you know what, Martin? this might be it. This might be the one where I got all the rules right. Let me know though. And that's kind of a gimmick. That's like accomplishing a mastery because there's a bunch of 1 hit point enemies
by cheating
or something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not cheating,
Like
but
you
by
did.
doing
Like
something. Well, I didn't actually accomplish
Hey,
it. And then,
we've taken that out.
yeah, and then, what on earth am I saying? Oh yeah, and if you came and you left, you can't hear my voice. This is the line I do. But I'm glad you came anyway. So thanks for stopping by, and until the next time that we finally get there to the edge of the world, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.